Hey, I've been in a little bit of a funk lately, which usually starts or results in me not leaving the house for a while. So I figured I might as well combine two activities that make me feel good. Let's go for a walk to the beach because I live on the West Coast now and can do that. And let's paint a little. While I was walking, I was thinking about how painting from a photo reference completely ruins my ability to approach landscapes in my own style. Like, nature moves. Look at the waves. As the sun sets, the colors change. There's people all around you that can constantly inspire you, and animals, and nothing is stagnant. When I'm gonna be painting out here, it's like 3 degrees outside. So when I sit down to paint, my hands are gonna be cold, which is also gonna change how I paint. Of course, I have trouble finding my style with landscapes when I'm sitting at home staring at a photo on a screen of nature. So we're here and I want to just like peacefully paint. Like, I'm one of those cool landscape painters who connects with nature as they create. But I realized pretty quickly that I forgot to bring my tripod to film, so I had to get creative. I'm going into this with no ideas, no pressure, just the hope that I learn a bit about painting water while I'm here. If you watched my last video, you would have heard me talk about how I want to stop adding ideas to a list and start painting when I have inspiration. And I think a good way to do that is to actually practice and improve your ability to draw things. It takes away some of the fear of messing up your artistic vision. I actually have a few different ideas for bigger paintings that include bodies of water, so I thought I might as well get some practical learning in today while I'm painting in a chill environment. So back to what's going on screen. I was having fun slowly working on the sky when I got my first taste of how painting in nature changes things. Look how upset I look. My boyfriend who was with me sat down at the table and my flimsy filming setup fell and somehow flung sand onto my painting. I was so upset about it at first. I just can't have people stepping down so hard.
Whoa, you sound mad or something.
Yeah, because there's sand all in my painting now. I told my boyfriend to come over and look, and he reassured me it wasn't a big deal.
Is that sand?
Yes.
Oh, it's awesome.
Stop it.
It's magical. Look how pretty it looks. Do you honestly not think that looks nice? I'm being serious.
Promise?
I promise it looks like little diamonds in the
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, my
Thank you, Jack. From that point on, the whole painting experience became so much more fun. Maybe because I loosened up, or I haven't used watercolors in so long, or gone on an adventure to paint. I don't know, but if you watched my last video, it was part of a mini-series I'm doing on my art resolutions for 2022. And although this video wasn't supposed to be in that series, after painting at the beach, I decided on a new goal for the year. I need to go on more art adventures, because what I learned today is that a walk is made better by painting, and painting is made better by not being holed up in my room. The experience is especially made better by being around other people, which usually I don't do when I make art. And in my case, my boyfriend made the experience so much more fun.
Look at all these shells.
Oh, those are beautiful.
Want me to put them on your paper?
Sure. Here? Thank you for wiping off the water.
That's
Those are beautiful.
I honestly think you should add more. Can I add more?
Sand?
Yeah, just a little bit.
No, thank
It's
you.
my foot.
You want to add more sand? Oh my gosh, please stop. Stop.
Just blow on it.
It's too heavy.
Good, that looks better. I honestly think it looks better. It adds character. It's a second dimension.
Oh my gosh.
Can I add more sand?
No. Sand. Between walking a few kilometers to the beach, getting in some fresh air, having a little picnic, and the goofy interactions with my boyfriend, this is one of my favorite painting experiences I've had in so long. It's like something clicked because I genuinely just enjoyed painting so much today in a way I haven't in quite a while. Like, duh, painting is more fun when the day and the vibes are more fun. It seems obvious, but there's something so inspiring about those middle of the night, exhausted painting sessions that it makes it hard to get myself to go out and paint. I feel like since I moved, I've been in a state of trying to get past my quarantine-induced art block. I think if I had thought to just go outside and paint and, you know, like make a fun day out of creating, I would have gotten out of my art block sooner. Something that really challenged me while I was painting is that the sun was setting the entire time I was there. So every time I looked up, the colors changed, which was really fun because I couldn't be too precise with anything. It's like what I was talking about in the beginning. Nature moves. I think once I read in a book about Impressionist painters, I could be completely making this up, but that they used to sit in a field and try and capture all the movements and changes of nature throughout the day. Like the wind blows through branches and you have to try and capture those movements. And the sun sets and you have to try and capture all the colors that you see as they move. And that experience of trying to capture something that's constantly changing is what made their Impressionist style. Speaking of changing, it was around this point in my painting that another thing happened, which impacted my art in a way that can only happen when you're out of your house. Oh my gosh, she's going in. Jack? Look. At this point, it was probably like 3 degrees Celsius outside, and my hands were cold from sitting with 3 layers on and painting. And this lady went swimming. It was just such a beautiful scene. I knew I needed to try and capture it. She got out pretty quickly, so most of my attempt was from memory. But no matter how it turns out, the fact that I was so quickly inspired to move on from my unfinished painting because of the actions of a person reminds me why it's important to paint outside your own room. Inspiration comes from everywhere, and while you have tons going on in your own head, it's nice sometimes to just capture a memory or a moment that you couldn't have thought up. I didn't realize my phone stopped recording after this, so you're gonna have to wait to the end to see the finished product. Okay, we're leaving now because the sun's going down, but look how